Jeb Hawks was an antichrist until he was taken control by Diabolos. He would later become the feared leader of the Leviathans. They were defeated after God sent out an army of humans to attack them, causing the humans to take over the world. When Barnabas Collins returned from 1897, he did so by way of 1796, for he had followed Lady Kitty Hampshire into the past once she had accepted that she was the reincarnation of his long-lost Josette. In 1796, Barnabas attempted to change history and returned to 1897 with Kitty to begin the life he had been denied through the actions of the witch Angelique. Barnabas promised to meet Josette the night after her averted suicide attempt, but did not make it to the meeting because he was captured at a mysterious altar in the woods that he had not seen before. Two Leviathans, Oberon and Haza, took Barnabas under their control and threatened through his subconscious mind to restore the curse of the vampire and kill Josette if he betrayed their cause. Barnabas was to take the Naga box with him to 1969 and give it to the two chosen ones whom he would identify upon returning. Unable to reason with his own will, Barnabas seemingly gave up on Josette and was transported back to the present, taking the box and the essence of the Leviathan leader with him. The 20th century. Barnabas placed the box in the care of two humans, Philip and Megan Todd, who opened the box and released the essence of the Leviathan leader into their antique shop. A baby appeared, and it grew over the course of a few weeks through the various ages of adolescence. They called the baby Joseph. Joseph was only an infant and seemed harmless enough. Megan claimed he was her sister's son. Dr. Julia Hoffman examined the baby and found only a strange birthmark on its wrist. When in its room at the antique shop, the Leviathan child could transform into its true, inhuman appearance. The second form, Alexander, Alex, proved cunning and mysterious. Megan claimed he was the son of Philip's brother. Alexander tormented Paul Stoddard by changing his appearance to that of Carolyn Stoddard. As a little girl, Paul had agreed to give his most valuable possession to the Leviathans in exchange for the use of their powers, and Alexander intended that Carolyn would belong to him. Alexander frightened Amy Jennings when she did not behave the way he wanted. Alexander grew into Michael, the third and most wicked of the Leviathan leader's adolescent forms. Michael hated Maggie Evans and Julia Hoffman, especially when the doctor noticed that he had the same birthmark as the other children before him. Michael also loathed the control Barnabas Collins attempted to enforce on him. Still unfinished with his growth, Michael agreed to accept the orders of his fellow cult members, but promised to change things when he was an adult. Megan Todd was extremely loyal and fond of Michael, arguing with her husband Philip about how he should be treated and disciplined. Michael faked his own death to make room for his adult human form, temporarily fooling Julia Hoffman and allowing the Todds a plausible cover story for his disappearance. Michael left the confines of the antique shop, however, and killed Paul Stoddard in his true form, leaving behind only slime and a strange odor. He then changed in his appearance into an adult named Jeb Hawks. As Jeb, he began to fulfill his promise of changing the way his cult was run. He ignored the rules Barnabas insisted he follow and began to kill at will. Jeb murdered Sheriff Davenport and then raised him as a zombie to work for him. Jeb grew extremely suspicious of Barnabas, although he was unaware that Barnabas truly had broken free of the Leviathan control. Jeb met Carolyn and started to romance her, sparking her interest but coming on too strongly. He attempted to force Carolyn to become his by drugging her and preparing to take her into his room, but Quentin Collins rescued Carolyn and physically beat Jeb to save the girl. When Carolyn went away from Collinwood at Barnabas's request, Jeb kidnapped Maggie Evans and held her hostage in a crypt so that he could prove that Barnabas was his enemy. Maggie fooled Jeb by pretending to become a Leviathan when he showed her the Naga box, and he let her go. Eventually, Warlock Nicholas Blair returned to Earth to help Jeb destroy the world. Jeb was allied with several other members of the cult who surfaced to help him during his time of suspicions with Barnabas. Bruno, a mysterious stranger, arrived at the antique shop wearing a Naga ring and offered his services to Jeb. Bruno promised to track down and destroy the werewolf in Collinsport, as Jeb explained that they were the only creatures he feared. Soon after, Jeb learned from another ally named Sky Rumson that Carolyn and Elizabeth Collins Stoddard were staying with Rumson and his wife Angelique. Sky and Jeb maneuvered to get Angelique and Elizabeth out of the house so that Jeb could approach Carolyn alone. In his true form, he terrified Carolyn by coming to her bedroom at Angelique's house. When Carolyn is in big trouble, Jeb rushed off to save her, but when Jeb stops Sky from strangling Carolyn, Sky pushes Jeb off of Widow's Hill, killing him.